Oh, yeah, I almost forgot to tell you. Do you want to send us stuff? Because this is how you send us stuff. We have a P.O. Box now. That's right. P.O. Box 924, Prudenville, Michigan 48657. If you have anything you'd like to send in to the Place to Be Reviews, that's where it goes, and that's where your packages will be coming from as well when I ship things out to you, my Kazooians. And we're back here, the Place to Be Reviews, myself and Nano Reaper, and we are talking about episodes 5 through 8 of the Terminal List. What's going on, man? How you doing, Nano?
Oh, I'm doing all right. It's, another wonderful day in paradise.
Beautiful day.
Well, it's not even 90 today, so yeah, it's good. That's in freedom units for you Europeans and Australians, not not your communist friggin' measurement system of Celsius.
I don't like the metric system at all. I'm not a fan.
It only makes sense in guns and automotives. What I really don't like about is the Torx system in automotive. And I really hate those cars that was made in like the mid 80s to 90s that had half of each and then some Torx thrown in too. Yeah, but so we're going to start with one of my favorite episodes in the series, episode 5.
Episode 5, Disruption. This is where James Reese travels to San Francisco to seek answers on a drug that may have started this all. Yeah, so this is of course, that's the experimental drug that was from Nubellum.
Nubellum, which is a subsidiary of the douchebag.
Capstone.
Capstone. That dude is looks like a crypto bro.
Oh my god, yeah, that haircut and just his and credit to the actor for really capturing that.
Yeah, he sold that. He sold. He sold crypto bro douchebag. I mean, the guy's probably a great guy in real life, but
yeah,
he sold that. He just it was. Oh man! If you're gonna sell a role, you can sell a role.
And that's the thing, though. That is really the sign of a good actor when a guy can draw you into his performance so much that you're like, what a douchebag, and it's like, yes, he is. The character is absolutely a douchebag, and he does a damn good job of putting that fact over, down to his fake. Didn't he have a seal tattoo?
Yeah, he had a bone frog, which is something that the SEALs identify with. It's part of their iconography.
I thought I remembered a scene with somebody kind of calling him out for that. Wasn't it one of the cops?
Yeah,
the FBI
was one. Well, she was actually a U.S. Marshal. The other agent is an FBI. Apparently, they're an interagency task force. Interesting to note that whole Fugitive Task Force is unique to the TV series. It is not in the book. The book is completely told from Reese's perspective versus being told. So this is added in it. I think it actually is a good addition to the series because it adds another perspective.
Yeah, I was gonna say it did add a layer to the show. Not that I've read the books, but you get that other perspective. So it's not just kind of like a first person thing with Reese, and it worked really well. I wasn't I came to kind of accept the FBI agent, but I mean when Reese left that bullet sitting there for him, and he finds it, and they're like, that means he had you.
We're jumping ahead to episode 6. We're jumping.
I know. I'm foreshadowing, but yeah, I at that point I was like, God, I wish he just would have done it.
Yeah. Yeah, but this.
And I understand he was doing his job,
Yeah, this episode starts with another flashback scene that's to 2007. And it starts with the in Najaf, Iraq. Riley had been shot down, and then you have that, and it's like an hallucination inside an hallucination, because you have the imagery of his daughter wearing like the superhero cape, and this is all in a flashback. Sets up how he met Riley. Also hints to what the damage that's going on inside his brain in a very good visual way.
There's because they go into that, the extent of it a little bit. It's really telling how callously they use these SEALs as, basically lab rats for this drug, and just the way that her name, the Secretary of Defense lady, right?
Yeah.
How callously she later, discusses it, and just kind of, downplays morality issue of it, I guess I should say.
That is kind of fitting to her character in the book. She's nowhere near as likable in the book as she is in the TV series. In the book, she's kind of like a certain ex-first lady that had a failed run for the presidency twice.
Oof. No wonder she's unlikable. This episode does center on that San Francisco trip, and then you have Katie going to Tedesco to try to get into the in between the Capstone and New Bellum deal a little bit. She tries to run that angle.
Corner Mike Tedesco in the bathroom to get the real truth, which inadvertently, because Horn is a mega douchebag, basically signs Horn's death warrant when he tries to download a bunch of files. I mean, but that is that's actually kind of a redemption arc for Tedesco, because you always felt like his character was reluctant to, like, he didn't even know, if you remember, that RB898 or whatever it was actually in human trials. He didn't think it was anywhere near ready for human trials. Yeah, and so he gets that out, and then they send. You notice that those, it's Revan or whatever it is, those road tanks and the G-Wagon, one of them goes off one way and the other one goes off the other way. It's because he sends one of his security guards to go rub out fucking Tedesco, or two of them. Tedesco gets capped after he gives Katie the file, and
he takes one to the melon,
right through the back of the head, and it's like right through the base of the brain upwards is what it looks like, because he's firing from a stairwell down, and then and then that guy takes a fucking round to the nugget in his damn self, because Katie gets her Constance Wu's character. Katie gets down and then so she starts running, and then all of a sudden, of course, there's another douchebag at top. He's about to cap her, and Reese comes out of the middle of nowhere and puts one through his brain box. That was very well done. And then we have, like, Katie. This is like one of the character-driven scenes, like, where Katie's like trying to convince her, let's go to the press, let's do this, and he's like, no, these people are not going to jail. They are going to be more. Screw having a trial for these people. That shit doesn't work out. They're rich. I mean, they're rich technology dipshits. That these people are playing by a different set of rules than a lot of other people. Him and Riley have the discussion, like, I think at some point he makes the decision that no, they're not trying to. Once he got the holding corporations, he no longer needed. Once he had that list, and once that Tyler Kitsch's character gets that
his buddy
gets that information for him. Although all but one, he no longer he's gone from having to collect information from these guys to just, it's time to take out the trash. And that's when we see that he goes from trying to grab Horn, building an explosive form penetrator, an EFP, fuck up a G-Wagon.
that scene is that,
because what an explosive form penetrator is basically, it's a copper or metal disc that uses explosives to form a velocity. It's like projects the explosive in one direction, and uses the disc that you see him hammering that in to form a projectile. that goes into the vehicle. So it's like a directional explosive. We started seeing those in Iraq, thanks to the Iranians. Reese would have access to the knowledge of how to build one of those. I'm not saying that every Navy SEAL knows how to build a friggin' explosive form penetrator, but you know, it is what it is.
I love the setup for his op in San Francisco, and Katie almost screws it up, or Constance Wu.
Yeah, because she's trying to still do the right thing, like break it to the press, and you can tell, he's like hesitant, but you know, he's warned her, don't be on my battlefield. This is or you might get killed. You know, he detonates that. He pulls out that AR, that Battle Company AR, that Bravo Company, goes to town, and like he rocks those, he whacks those fucking mercs. And
he took them out like with the quickness.
And then he goes up, and interestingly enough, this is another change from the book. Horn actually lives to the end of the book. He's one of the last ones taken out. But But in the TV series, well, as you see, big explosion, and then he does it more realistically in this thing that I've ever seen in any TV show, or movie. Because Hollywood loves to use the point where you're about to cap the dude, the bad guy, and the hero or anti-hero decides to freaking monologue at that point in time. That's not this shit works. No, he just walks up. There's no monologue. There's Mr. Wannabe SEAL, Crypto Bro, begging for his life for a split second before he just gets brain boxed.
Yeah, that's the thing too, is, you know, having grown up with somebody who, you know, 3 active tours in Vietnam and then Detroit narcotics and undercover for, you know, over a decade. Sometimes you just get the real story on things. It's like, you don't sit there and talk. It's just you're gonna it's you or them, and it's never gonna be you. You know, that's your job, is to make sure it's never you. My dad always laughed. We watch these movies, and he says the same thing. He's like, he goes, I've never once been in a shootout and had somebody start fucking talking to me in the middle of it. You know what I mean? That wasn't telling me to, you know, one of my backups or something like that. You know, he's just, you know, the perp's not just gonna start monologuing, or I'm not gonna start, you know, with this moral fucking compass speech while we're shooting at each other.
That's not how reality works. You're only communicating to the people in a firefight like that on your side, you know, coordinating your movement as a team. You're not talking to the guys that are shooting back at you. You're trying to make them dead as fast and as efficiently as possible. And also, you can see what fucking shit quality fucking mercs those dudes were, because I mean, you're doing executive protection with full autos in an urban area, and you're spraying and praying. What the hell? I mean, you know, does the idea that you're in the middle of a city street?
Round accountability was lost on them, apparently.
Well, they didn't make it anyway, so
I guess they don't have to worry about the paperwork. There's no legal ramifications for the dead. Good thing for Steve Horn, then.
Yeah. I wonder if they go up to him and go, just channel your inner Dan Bazarian.
So that was that's kind of where the episode leaves off right there on episode 5.
Yeah, and then we go into the only episode 6, where Reese doesn't kill someone.
This is Transients, is episode 6. At the end of the episode, I'm like, did I miss something? He didn't off anybody this episode? What?
He's running from the HRT guys across a massive, like, wilderness area park. This whole episode was shot on one location in one day, I think is what Jack said in his podcast. That's all shot on a single location. He's being chased by HRT, and he has a shot, but because these are not his enemies, they're just doing their damn job to let him know that at any time he could have killed them. And that was actually pretty good. Then, you know, he blows up a mountain to get away, and everybody thinks he's dead. That's pretty much that episode. It's just a long chase scene through the wilderness. It's very well shot.
It
Well,
is. The cinematography in this was great.
Yeah, this is Amazon. Make more shows like this, not like Lord of the Rings. That was episode 6. It's really It is. They call it a bottle episode. They do the. Jack Carr also has a Terminal List podcast where they talk with the producers and everything, and you can actually get a lot more information from it. And they call it a bottle episode because it's the episode they shoot to save a little bit of money. Because they try to do it all on one set. But, I mean, still, for a bottle episode, that's a phenomenal freaking...
Yeah. Yeah, they do a lot. They did a lot of those on Walking Dead. They did a lot of bottle episodes on there. They can be done really well, or they can be done not. This was one that was, it was still good. It was still very, very enjoyable. You know, sometimes you see those episodes and it's like you're on your phone, or you got to walk away for a second to do something. You're not pausing it. This wasn't one of those episodes. So episode number 7 is Extinction. Yeah, you get the Admiral at the beginning of this, kind of, what does he say? I'm reading the quote. It says, if disgraced Commander Reese wants to show up here, there are 5,000 sailors who will have something to say about that. And that was Admiral Pillar who said that. And
this is also the episode why the Navy did not provide any material support to the TV show. They were originally going to get an Osprey from the Marine Corps, but they weren't able to because of when you blow up Warcom with an S-Vest.
They were like, we're not helping you guys now.
I mean, this one, I think only 3 people die.
Let's see.
The first is the black guy, the Black Admiral or Commander.
Yep.
He gets drowned first. The sniveling little shit JAG attorney tries to run because he finds out that Reese finds out who all got a payday from fucking Steve Horn, the JAG officer. Well, Tyler Kitsch abducts the JAG officer and his family. This is it's going a little on the dark side here. Then they get the black guy, the other captain, to scare the shit out of the little weaselly attorney. He log drowns that fucker out in San Diego Bay.
Except for Saul, probably. That was about the only other one that got an easy out was James Gunn's brother, Sean. Saul Agnon.
So then he straps an S-vest, a suicide vest, with Claymore mines in it to the shitty attorney. I mean, who doesn't like seeing attorneys get blown up?
Oh, that's what's his name, Cox.
And then he calls the Admiral, and the Admiral's like, I have information. I can tell you.
SecDef, her mansion up there, and she's of course got the what is it, Capstone?
Capstone mercenary.
The Mercs.
Yeah, because why would you not have Secret Service guarding you as SecDef? But
right. What did she say? Because I think they explained it. They said she went with the private contractors because they have less legal accountability or something. It was
provides them with a boat and a barrack. That's one of the smaller life-proof boats, I think, about a 27-footer. They look like ribs, but they can handle like Class 5 hurricane.
I was waiting for Taylor Kitsch's character to drop those guys that were coming to find him in his machine gun nest when he was sitting there just picking off those Capstone guys from across the little harbor there.
Yeah, picking them off from like a mile away.
Yep.
with a 660 grain projectile.
I like when Reese gets inside, like, which I love that because you get that hallway scene, the shootout. That was probably my favorite part of the episode. Was that sequence in the hallway with him taking? I think there was like he was going against the 2 guys in the hallway. Just the way he moved down the hall, and it was. You could tell that a lot of thought went into that scene.
When the author is a subject matter expert, You
Yep.
have tons of subject matter experts on cast and crew. I mean, like I said, this wasn't written for New York or LA film reviewers. It was written for people that kick indoors for a living, and and anybody else that just actually likes this country. This is who it was written for. It wasn't written for the feminist lesbian interpretive dance.
Let's see, does what's her name? Does Hartley, she offs herself here.
Yeah, that's a little different than again. Than in the book. In the book, first of all, Tyler Kitsch's character puts an explosive necklace around Katie's neck, and Horn, Tyler, Hartley are all in the room, and he just shoots them, all three of them. And then Katie asks him, "How did you know he wasn't going to blow it up?" And he tells her, "I didn't." Yeah, this is
she's gone.
Yeah, this. We've gotten to the part where Hartley blows her brains out.
Yep. She offs herself.
Of course, Ben gets away because, well,
that's his specialty, man.
Yeah, I mean, he was a member of CIA Ground Branch, and if you know what that is, you know that those guys are kind of
they can just be ghosts when they need to.
And that's when Ben finds out that yes, he knew that he was the one that ultimately sold him out. So Reese basically used him like an asset.
Actually,
that is the last line. Let's finish the list because the dude knew he was dead.
What a scene! What a scene that was, man. I think we talked about this the first review we did for 1 through 4. I had a feeling at one point, like and it kind of subsided because he did everything to help Reese. That I was like, man, is this guy dirty? Like, is this going to be one of those characters that double crosses, the protagonist at some point in the story? And it's like, turns out, he was all along. Hitting finale. And now I want to see more of this character, I do want to see the next book, come to life now, because this was an enjoyable show. Probably because it was such a departure from the dreck that we usually get when it comes to stuff like this. The faithful adaptation of something like the Navy SEALs is it's cool to see. That's what I like. It's written by somebody, like you said, the guy knows his shit better than anybody in Hollywood because he lived it.
They also had a lot of even your screenwriters, the guys that wrote the scripts per episodes. Some of them were like ex-Army Rangers. Some that had moved into Hollywood. So I mean, the whole show was just you put the right people behind it, and Hollywood doesn't turn out fucking woke drivel.
You also had some of the cast. Wasn't it like the HRT team at the end? Weren't they all?
So there was a lot of veterans involved in it, like shooting it.
Veterans. Yeah,
and Arnold Schwarzenegger's son was in it. He gets killed in the first episode. He's the one that gets his head blown off. Yeah, that's actual real prop. Apparently, he freaked out his mother by sending her pictures of him holding his own head. I mean, I would do it.
Oh, this was a good show from start to finish. You had a bottle episode where you really didn't even skip a beat. Great writing, the acting was solid. There was never a point where you'd get into an episode and be like, "Is this over? Is this almost over?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's a rarity.
You had a good mid-series crescendo build up, then it slightly changes direction from there to the final.
I hate to cut it short, but it's about that time.
Yeah.
So I do have to go. But Nano, thank you, man. And if they do more of this, we still got to do the Gray Man too.
Yeah, that one was kind of funny though. But yeah, we'll do that one. I've read those books too. So
excellent. All right, brother. Well, thank you for joining me, man. I appreciate it.
love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything.
It's better to burn out than to fade away.
I could do